Hello, people, and welcome to the stream. So, hello to everyone who doesn't know me, which I'm guessing is most of you. I'm Myles, and welcome to my channel. And on this channel, I will be talking about musicals, and if you couldn't tell from my name already, why I love them. So, basically, what we're going to be doing is Ella, unmute your mic. What are you doing? Technical difficulties, guys. Unmute your mic, please.
Hi.
Hello. Just realised I can. Hello, I can barely hear you.
Wait. I think because I got the wrong mic on. Be right back.
Okay. So while we wait for Ella, I guess I'll start. So today we're going to be talking about my What are we talking about? Get your head together, Myles. So we're going to be talking about the shows I've seen recently over the past few years.
Your mic is terrible.
Yours was crackling as well. Let me finish my introduction. So we're going to be talking about the shows I've seen over the last few years and why I've enjoyed them, I guess. So first, we're going to start at the top here. We're going to talk about Dear Evan Hansen. For those of you who don't know what Dear Evan Hansen is, it is the Tony Award-winning musical with musical lyrics by Pasek and Paul, who wrote the songs for The Greatest Showman, and the plot for the show is about... Definitely not searching up what the plot is right now. I know the plot, but I just don't know how to explain it. So it's like, I should have just got this up already. What am I doing? Okay, so for those who didn't know, the story is about Evan Hansen, who is an anxious, isolated high school student who's aching for understanding and belonging amid the chaos and cruelty of the social media age. He soon embarks on a journey of self-discovery when a letter he wrote for a writing exercise falls into the hands of a grieving couple whose son took his own life. Yes, so
Damn.
the show deals with very heavy subjects, so I would say if you are quite sensitive to those subjects, I wouldn't say it's a show for you. But it is also has a great message, and the message is just be yourself and don't change yourself just because you want to be seen as more popular, I guess. And like, would you say that is the message of the show, Ella?
Very good show. I actually played the mum in it one time.
She played Heidi Hansen.
Yeah, I did. And my son, he tried to kill himself. Very, very, very touchy.
He fell out of a tree.
What?
He fell out of a tree.
Yeah, and broke his arm.
Yeah, well, we say he fell out of a tree. You'll have to.
He didn't do very good, did he? He didn't succeed in his death. He didn't commit delete.
So if you want to go and see Dear Evan Hansen, I'd really recommend it. It is closing on, I believe, the 22nd of October of this year. So and it is closing on the 18th of September this year as well on Broadway. So if you want to go and see it, I would really recommend catching it soon, because otherwise I don't know if you're going to have a chance.
It will disappear, and you won't get to see it.
It'll disappear. I tried to make a reference, then it didn't work. If you get my point, because there's a song called Disappear. Go and see the show, you'll find out. So, and then if you want to catch it after, which I don't know why you'd want to, because you need to go and see it now before it shuts. But it's currently on a national tour in the US, and it is running, well, all over the country in America. So if you want to go and see it in America, you can. After it shuts, the two main productions shut, the tour will still be continuing until obviously that closes as well. So just go and catch the show. So that is Dear Evan Hansen, and my opinions on the show is similar to what Ella said. It's a brilliant show with great music, and has a great message of just be yourself and don't try and change yourself for anyone just because you feel like it would make you feel better about yourself. And it's so yeah, I would say if you want to see a show that's got a good message about it and it's got great music, a great cast, I'd definitely go and see it in the West End or on Broadway or on tour whenever you can. So yeah, so that was Dear Evan Hansen. So now we shall talk about another one of my favourite
10 out
shows
of
that I've
10 show.
Yes, thanks, Ella. So now we shall talk about another one of my favourite shows, which is Everybody's Talking About Jamie. So for those of you who don't know, Everybody's Talking About Jamie is a show about a boy called Jamie New who was 16. He's a teenager, obviously, and he is struggling to find who he is in the world. And he wants to, but his ambition is he wants to become a drag queen. So the show follows his sort of story on becoming a drag queen and sort of facing a school bully and, all the troubles of high school sort of life. In a way, similar to Evan Hansen, how it follows with the message of, of being in high school and what that involves and how, obviously not everyone's going to be nice to you and stuff. But so Everybody's Talking About Jamie is based off the BBC Three documentary Jamie, Drag Queen at 16, which follows Jamie Campbell. Is based on a true story of the same story of how he wants to become a drag queen and the sort of how he wants to go to prom in a dress, but his school refuses to let him in. But as you watch the documentary, you'll see that they eventually do let him in, which is great because the world is it needs to be more inclusive than it really is, because luckily now we're in the month of June, so we are in Pride Month, so it's a month to celebrate the whole, I guess, inclusivity of the world. I've not worded that very well, but yeah, it's about the show's about being very inclusive and accepting. And I think if you want to go and see a show that's and once again, if you want to go and see a show that's got great music and it's got a great cast, unfortunately, if you want to see the show, it is not open. There's no there's no actual running productions of it at the moment. Unfortunately, the UK tour of it finished only a few months ago. I managed to catch it on tour twice, and you can see in this picture on the screen here that is Leighton Williams in the starring role as Jamie New. And the two times I saw him, he was brilliant both times, and he has a great charisma, and he played the part so well. And when I saw it in London in 2021, and this was just after sort of COVID, sort of as COVID was still going on, but it was starting to ease a little bit. And so when I saw it in London, I had Noah Thomas as Jamie, and he was brilliant as well. Like all the Jamies are brilliant in their own way, and so I hope the show comes back to the West End one day, because I'm sure it is very missed amongst the fan base, and it will be very welcomed back because it's a great show. It's got a great message, and I understand why it's got a huge fan base. So that is Everybody's Talking About Jamie. Do you have anything you want to add to that, Ella? I just realised I hadn't added you to the stream then. Let's fix that. I think you need to. Yeah, there you go.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
I saw the movie, by the way. It was really good, but I didn't see the musical.
I mean, they're basically the same thing, so I guess you've seen the gist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is Everybody's Talking About Jamie.
How many views were you on?
And that is my phone. Let's just end that. Yeah, that was my other friends calling me.
How many views?
0.
Oh.
But we're doing well. People can go back and watch this, you know what I mean? It's sorry about my phone ringing then. This is just the troubles of doing a live stream sometimes. I think I'm just going to turn my phone off, to be honest, just because that way don't ring again. There we go. Okay, so that was Everybody's Talking About Jamie. Well, before it was interrupted. Okay, so next show we're going to talk about is Back to the Future, the musical. So Back to the Future, the musical is a project that has been in development for many, many years, originally stating to open in 2015 for the films It was for one of the anniversaries. I forgot which one it was. I think it might have been the 35th anniversary or something. But like, there's a date in the film, in the second film, they go back to, which is, or they go forward to, they go to the future. October 21st, 2015. So they're originally going to open it in 2015 to celebrate the film's anniversary. But that didn't happen because the original director left the project, and then luckily a new director, John Rando, came on board, and he got hold of the film's composer, Alan Silvestri, and Glenn Ballard, who has written loads of successful songs that you probably heard on the radio. And he also wrote, I think it's Ghost the musical. So he did that, and then in the writing team, you've got Bob Gale, who was the producer of the original Back to the Future films, who had the main core idea of Back to the Future, and who wrote, all the scripts on the film. So he's on board of it. And so this show opened in February 2020 at the Manchester Opera House for its pre-West End run, and I was supposed to actually go and see it when it was in Manchester, but I booked to go and see it in March. And as we know, March 2020, that was when we all went into the first national lockdown, so I didn't get to see it. But luckily, it came to September 2021, and I saw it in the West End, and I was mind blown. Everything about this show is perfect. It's a perfect adaptation of the film. It's got great music, a fantastic cast who perfectly capture these roles and make them their own, and which luckily, and it keeps getting extended and extended. I've seen it twice now. So I saw it in September 2021 first, and I saw it in January this year in 2022. And like I said, the cast are brilliant, and it's just a great show. And if you love the film, you're most likely going to love this, because it's like, and as a musical as well, it does hold up very well. I wouldn't say it's a musical masterpiece, but it's like still a very brilliant show that I think if you don't like musicals, you'll still really enjoy it, because obviously the name Back to the Future is going to draw a lot of people into the theatre who probably don't normally go to the theatre. So yeah, so Back to the Future is a brilliant show, and I'd really recommend going and seeing it. And I reckon it's going to go other places in the future, because I mean, it's Back to the Future. It's like, one of the most iconic films of all time. So yeah, go and go and catch that at the Adelphi Theatre in London's West End on the Strand right now, if you can. So yeah, so that was Back to the Future the musical. So next we're going to be talking about this show here. So this show is the show that started off my sort of love for musical theatre. Here we have School of Rock, the musical. School of Rock, the musical is based off the cult hit 2003 movie starring Jack Black about a wannabe rock star who poses as a substitute teacher and teaches his class of students how to, rock and roll, and he forms a band with them, and they enter the battle of the bands, and he shows them how music can empower you. And yeah, it's a great film, and it's a great musical. And the musical is, as you can see on the screen, music written by Lord Lloyd Webber. Yeah, the songs are brilliant. It's a great, once again, as like I said, with Back to the Future, it's a great adaptation of the film. It keeps all the sort of moments you love in it. It's like, it's just a brilliant show. Like, you come out feeling so uplifted, and I guess what you want when you go and see a show, you just want to come out feeling something. And with this show, you definitely do, because the music is all very upbeat and catchy. It tugs at your heartstrings at points. It's got everything for someone who wants to go and see a show and, obviously wants to feel something. So School of Rock, the musical, it has had a bit of, I guess not really a fatal history, but I mean, it has been known to open productions but then close productions. So it's like, the show started on Broadway at the Winter Garden Theatre in 2015, and then it transferred to the Gillian Lynne Theatre, formerly known as the New London Theatre, in 2016, which was the first time I saw it at the Gillian Lynne Theatre in 2018. Ever since I saw it, I thought to myself, wow, this is a great show. And I unguiltily went and saw it 7 times in its London run, which unfortunately closed. It ran for 3 years, or about 3 years. It ran for about 3 years at the Gillian Lynn Theatre, and it closed in March 2020, just before the pandemic hit. So that was very lucky they got to get out of there before the pandemic hit. And then they were set to go on a UK tour in 2021, starting in Birmingham at the Alexandra Theatre in February 2021. Unfortunately, because COVID was still going on, that was rescheduled, and they opened in, I believe it was Hull that they opened up in. But I managed to catch the tour twice. The first time I saw it at the Alexandra Theatre, but that was rescheduled to be in February. So I saw that in February in Birmingham at the Alexandra Theatre. Luckily, with a few of the London cast members returning for their roles, including Jake Sharp as Dewey Finn. And the way Jake Sharp plays Dewey is brilliant. He has all the right charisma and energy, and I bet he must be knackered after each show, because the amount of effort he puts into that performance, it's like, award worthy. I think that role should be up for some awards, because in a way it's like, a very draining part, and I think whoever plays that part really works their ass off. So great kudos to him. And then I saw the show literally a week later, because I'm a bit obsessed with this show, in Milton Keynes, at the Milton Keynes Theatre, and I luckily got to see Alex Tompkins play Dewey, who's the alternate. I have seen both Jake Sharp and Alex Tompkins a few times in the West End as well, back when Jake Sharp was the alternate and Alex Tompkins was the first cover Dewey. And then Alex Tompkins, same with Jake Sharp, plays the role brilliantly, and he brings his own spin to it, and it's great to see how different both of them play this part. But they both play it in a brilliant way that I think you'll still have a good time whoever you see, because I think in the nicest way, a lot of people think, oh, I'll go and see a show, I want to see the lead. They get the alternate, they're a bit like, oh, I saw the alternate, I want to see the lead. I wouldn't be disappointed, because if you get an alternate at a show, you are still getting, even if it's not the alternate, even to say the cover, you're still getting the quality performance that you expect from the theatre. So I just want to say, don't doubt understudies, and just really appreciate them, because if the world didn't have understudies, or the world of theatre even didn't have understudies, we wouldn't get anywhere, because shows wouldn't be able to go forward. So pray for the understudies, because they are really having to work their butts off just to bring a show to you. So yeah, so like I was saying, Alex Tompkins plays the role brilliantly. The whole cast on the tour are brilliant. You can catch the tour at the moment in its last few remaining stops, because unfortunately they are ending in August. But if you can catch it, do, because it's a very brilliant show. So Ella, I believe
the show is epic. I saw it at the Milton Keynes Theatre in February, and it was awesome. I don't know who played Dewey, but God, he was sweating by the end, because that part is really hard.
Yep. I can remember when I was in my sort of School of Rock phase, when I went to see it loads of times, I thought to myself, that is a part I would like to play. But then, and I think of then the draining side of it and how much energy it takes up, because it looks so fun to play that part, but it just feels really draining. So or when I say it feels draining, it just looks really draining. So probably not. And plus, I'm not much of an actor anyway. So
also, all the kids were epic.
Yeah, speaking of that, the kids play their instruments live. There is a message from Lord Lloyd Webber himself at the start, stating that they do play live, and they absolutely do play live, and they are brilliant at playing their instruments. So if you just want to go and see, just some rocking kids, being brilliant in what they do, playing instruments, singing, acting, and dancing, they do it all in this show. So if you just want to see a show that has very talented kid actors, go and see this show. So yeah,
Zach Mooneyham.
Yep,
he
Zach
was good.
Mooneyham. You have Freddie Hamilton on the drums, Katie Travis on the bass, and Lawrence Turner on the keys. Yeah, I know that, because I'm a bit obsessed with the show. Okay, anyway, so that was School of Rock. So a very good show. Go and see it on its last few months of the tour. You won't regret it. It's a brilliant show. Okay, so now moving on to a show that I've seen, but I know Ella hasn't seen, and I don't think Ella actually knew what this was based on until when I told you about it. So we're going to be talking about Only Fools and Horses, the musical.
I researched that. I thought it was going to be about horses.
Fair enough. So, for those who didn't know, Only Fools and Horses the musical is based off the iconic TV sitcom that ran on the BBC, and it's written by John Sullivan, and it follows, the Trotter family, Derek Trotter, aka known as Del Boy, and his shenanigans with his younger brother Rodney and his granddad, and how how it is to live in Peckham in London, and trying to make a living by selling stuff at markets and stuff. And it's got some of the most iconic British TV moments or sitcom moments in the world. Like there's just thousands, like the bar scene, the chandelier. I mean, the list goes on. I can only think of them two at the moment. I say there's loads, but there is loads. But if you've seen the show, you know. And so this musical opened in 2019 at the Theatre Royal Haymarket, and this was actually in production for quite some time. And John Sullivan, unfortunately, before his passing, was working on this. I don't mean unfortunately he was working on this. I mean unfortunately he passed. But he was. This is one of the last things he was working on, and once he died, the writing credits were handed to his son Jim Sullivan, and comedy legend Paul Whitehouse was approached as well, and them two collaborated together to bring us the finished product. And so the show opened in London's West End at the Theatre Royal Haymarket in 2019, and it followed very successful reviews, getting 5 stars pretty much across the board. As I've seen it recently, it's a brilliant adaptation of it, and it's just great to see those iconic characters live on stage. And if you want to go and see it, I'd really recommend you go and see it. And if you're very wary about it, thinking, "Oh, it's so iconic, it's so loved, I don't want them to ruin it," trust me with this, they do not ruin it. It is a brilliant adaptation, just like Back to the Future is and How School of Rock is. It really captures the essence. The performances are bang on the mark, 10 out of 10 impressions, 10 out of 10 music. I guess just and the way they've staged it as well, like the set is very clever. And I'm just kind of rambling at this point, trying to think of something else to say. Just go and see it if you haven't already. Go and see it, and if you don't like it, you don't like it. But I mean, like, I don't think you're not gonna like it. You're gonna come out feeling very uplifted, and you will laugh throughout the whole thing. It is very funny, and as you expect for Only Fools and Horses, it being a comedy TV sitcom, so it's like, yes, go and see it. 10 out of 10 show, brilliant, and hopefully I might catch it again in the summer, because I just really want to go and see the show again. So yeah. So everyone, that brings us to the end of this stream, and
Aw.
I know, how sad. And unfortunately, we didn't have any viewers for this, but hopefully, once I share this with a few people, this will get a few views. And I just hope that everyone can take something from this, and it's encourage you to want to go and see these shows. And yeah, so are there any final thoughts from you, Ella?
No. Go watch the shows. Go watch the musicals. They're all epic.
Support the
If you
arts.
can't afford to watch the musicals, then just get the movie.
If there is movie adaptations, obviously, for which most of these there are, if you
Yeah.
notice, obviously, a running thing with the shows I've seen, they're mostly based off of something that, because in a way, even Dear Evan Hansen is based off of something, because one of the composers said, unfortunately, someone in his class died of a drug overdose, which is kind of what inspired him to make this story. So it's like, so everything basically that I've seen is based off of something. So it's like, yeah, so like we said, go and see this show, support the arts, and if you can't see it, then I guess just, yeah, watch the things that were made before it, like the For Only Fools and Horses, the actual TV show, or watch, the movie adaptations of, or not even adaptations, just watch the movies. Yeah, okay, so I don't really know how to finish this. Thank you guys for watching, and I guess I'll
Hope
see
you enjoyed.
you. Yeah, we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye. Peace out.